The Prussian people march to war in today's NTW 3 battle for you here today. And we do have a 4v4 here, as we have Prussia with an entire Landwehr spam from 1814 here being sent straight into battle. These huge units of 172-man units as well, being spearheading the way forward. There are, actually, I think they all are pretty large, actually, all looking like they're 170 odd in size. And it looks like already we're going to see a bit of excitement here. Prussia also involved in the fight over here, as we have Austria with his own Landwehr coming forward. So it's going to be a bit of a Landwehr spam here from the coalition, it seems. Got some German grenadiers sitting over there. They are getting focused down by Landwehr right now. There's a beautiful volley there. It looks like it's the... is it French getting in there? There are sappers going into the French, actually taking that building there. That could be huge if the French have managed to win at that race there. We got the 6-point Russia North campaign getting in there. And it looks like he's going to send in some lances as well. These are like reasonably good lances going in. They're going to take out the grenadiers there. This is the lances of Berg, which actually historically are pretty elite unit. But they've got in there. They've taken out those Germans easily enough, and then go the Italian at dragoons going into the Landwehr here. A unit that cannot form the square quite obviously. And here goes more French cav. Going in, more dragoons going in against the Landwehr cavalry. Probably should win this fight, should the French, but they don't. They are defeated by the people of Prussia, who also rout at the same time. A small side note. Yeah, we have a huge Prussian army. There are actually some infantry, some actual German infantry amongst some more Prussians here. Not some. They're all on the wrong side of the battlefield though, and they're all having to shift across. But also, they're going to try on their way to try and stop the French army here that is moving up down this road. This looks like it's a, yeah, it looks like it's the 10-point Austria campaign, like the German campaign sort of one. So that's a pretty strong, powerful faction there, and it has got a lot of troops amongst it. A lot of, it looks like grenadiers, sappers, got barbarians as well to make up mass. So it looks like that is the play they're going for. It's a pretty tough faction to go up against, and Prussia will be outpointed there. As we have, we get a little bit of a freeze there. Looks like the coalition now in the building. The Pioneers, I think, have gone in and they won the day, potentially. Pioneers, and also looks like Hungarian Grenadiers in there. And that actually is going to see 6-point off. After having some early success, 6-point has decided to withdraw. And we have got the assault column ready to go as well, which I'm excited to see go into action. I want to see those bad boys get some good kills. But it's looking like a very spicy battle, that's for sure. Over on this side here, we have the, looks like the US taking on UK Ottomans and Spain. UK Ottomans is taking this merry old time getting here. It's a very good variety of factions, that's for sure. We've got, yeah, a few of the Brits, but plenty of Janissaries and other Turkish units as well, bringing up the rear. And then you got, as you can see, the British cavalry sneaking around. I don't think it is British, though. It's mostly, it looks like, yeah. Actually, I don't know. Actually, it's mostly British. There's only one Turkish unit in there. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be a very exciting one. I think then we must have, like, this France here must be, looks like it's 1814 maybe? Look at the guard. Like the amount of guard as well has been brought. It could also be 1812 actually. Yeah, I think it might be more likely 1812. Looking that we have cavalry here. So it might be an 1812 and a 6-point 1812. So we might have Russia Center, Russia North. And we have the Austria over here, and then we have US over there, which makes sense. Got a couple of low pointers, and then beefed up by some yeah, really strong like high pointers here for the French. I'm looking forward to seeing how this one goes, and that would make sense. This is why there's so many guard as well. Russia Center, there's still being plenty of guards, lots of young guard here, and they're in good numbers. That would suggest more like 1812 rather than 1814. And it does still annoy me to this day that Fog of War is on for replay, so I can't see what units the French have. Which is very annoying. Yeah, it should be a very evenly matched battle here. I feel like the low pointers are kind of matching up against themselves quite nicely. Only problem is that the coalition right now are vastly outnumbering the French on this side here. Right now, the US and the 6-point here, that's like, what, a 7 and a 6 going up against an 8 Austria. We've got a 7 Spain, and then that's an 8 Ottomans as well, but that's 3 armies against 2 there right now. The Prussians look like they're going to be taking on 2 high pointers on their own, with partly help of the Austria, that is for sure. But yeah, that Prussia is going to need some help. It's not even like, I'd say, the strongest Prussia. It's a pretty fun Prussia. I've been told, 8-point Prussia. I rarely play it myself on the Frankish campaign is what it is. I guess it's like what Blucher gets defeated so many times with that army. Not a good army, then with good omens. But yeah, lots of Landwehr here. From Uhlans to his own infantry. Just that seems to be like this strategy. I'm sure it can be played other ways, but it seems like that is the play this Prussia player is going for here today. But yeah, this was sent in by a member of my Discord. G did send this one in to me. Thanks very much for sending this one in. Much appreciated, as always. But if you want to send your own replays like G did here today, do send them to my Discord. The link is down below in the description. It's the easiest place to send them in. I'm always looking for more NTW3 replays. So if you do have them, do send them in. And make sure you have a screenshot as well of the end result. It really does help for me, because I don't get the end results at the end of the replay. You just kind of have to go without them. And so the screenshot I then just edit in and just put over the top of an empty end results that I see. So that's kind of why I always go, oh, I believe these guys did pretty well. These guys did okay as well. But yeah, this should make for an interesting battle. A lot of good variety in factions here, which G did say, and that is absolutely the case. The Americans here. We've got, yeah, Spanish, Brits. Not even like the typical Brits you see, the Ottoman one. Very, very different to what we usually see. Usually it's like the Portuguese one. Surprise his infantry here, having maybe rush forward to get that gun, get that out of the way. It seems like a little bit of a cav duel over there. Look, the Landwehr cavalry getting out of there pretty easily. One thing that Prussia can bring is so much cheap Ulan, like, cavalry. And the lancers, which are like, yeah, all just like militia, can be very good use. Very useful in today's game. There goes looks like a British light dragoon, but it won't be. It's obviously American, which dress kind of similar to the Brits. And they're going to rout the Spanish there easily enough. They might carry on. They might go for the gun. No. I'm kind of surprised. But yeah, I imagine American's going to go for a bit of a militia spam. It kind of looks like what he has already done. It's certainly one way to tie down the Spanish as well. Just sort of counter his militia spam with your own militia spam, which is pretty much looking like what he's done here. A lot of like non-squareable Spanish units, but I wouldn't say it's a big army. It's a 7-pointer. It can't really bring lots. We have got grenadiers moving forward here. These are big, 190, 187 man units. They're going to do a lot of work, and it looks like actually Prussian cav has been aroused over here by a very big chasseur cheval of the French there. So yeah, French cav having a bit more success out at the moment out on the flanks, but Prussia is flanking around. You see Pomeranian Uhlans getting in behind. France currently has heavies guarded the back. They wouldn't be able to catch any Uhlans if he was to go for a dash for the general. And they can certainly guard this one, but this one's looking a little open. But not just yet. And here goes a melee charge. We've got heavies going in, breaking through the Prussians here. We've got Chevaliers going in, yep. Cuirassiers going in, smashing through the Landwehr. Just what they're designed to do, really. Having a lot of success to start with there are the French. I'm surprised the Austrians sent in their cavalry really support that. I mean, maybe to guard their gun? I think it's a little overconfident expecting them to go all the way for this gun. There's a lot of Austrian infantry they've had to go past first to even try to attempt that. Spain's gone in for a melee over here. The Grenadiers have gone in. The Grenadiers didn't seem like they got the... I mean, they're okay. They're pretty much their strength is their numbers. Which are going up against the militia here of the UK. I really want... Sorry, yeah, it's called the UK. I really want for some reason to call the UK. The US. It's not really going to work. So yeah, Spain's going to need to try different tactics there. He's got his cavalry and dragoons Granada. Going against militia, which can't form square. Didn't seem to get a great charge, and again, it seems like they're just kind of getting swamped by numbers. Exactly what Prussia needs to try over here, swamp his enemy with numbers. But he's so stretched out along this line right now. There's elites, or we call it, more well-trained troops. They are starting to arrive. They're putting pressure on this flank here, forcing back light infantry and Bavarians. And And Spain is getting forced back from there, though it looks like he's inflicting losses on America, but not enough. He's redlining, but he's not breaking. Oh, there you go. As I say, he breaks there. Can he affect the rest of these Americans? I don't know. America's countercharging with his own cavalry. Fails to break the infantry there. And America's been broken through. The Grenadiers just about had enough. And now he can try and push onto the guns. You can see more cavalry being dashed across it to try and save the guns. Cavalry's pretty spent, though, as are the Grenadiers, which can't form square. Actually, these aren't even Grenadiers. These are just infantry. And that is unfortunate there. In goes more. What is going on over here? It looks like even more infantry going in here. Yeah, guard. Oh, these aren't actually guard. These are Carabineers going in. They routed the Landwehr. Landwehr Ulan's countercharging. France is not slowing down here, just going after all these Landwehr. Sending up lots of conscript infantry. Lots of provisionals being sent in. Carabineers going into melee, though. I mean, they are pretty good, like Grenadier unit. They are like a Grenadier light infantry or something like that. Like a G5. They're very, very good for that exact role.
A unit has grown weary, sir.
Looks like, yeah, I was going to say, France is getting set up here for another melee charge for sure. I mean, what's he got in the front? He's got lots of conscripts and actual, he's got like young guard down the front line. They got hit. That was, you've got like a delay in the sound there. I guess the Carabineers could melee. You've got the heavy cap back here. They're getting ready again for another, and we have got Grenadiers. There's going to be a serious charge here in a moment, I think. They're going to try and split their way through the center of this Austrian army. They need to be careful. Austria's going to go for a charge. It's going to try and get the first blow onto the French. Chevalier is going in. France will form square and try and support that cav fight. Britain has been slowly arriving and is now able to help turn the American flank here. The Allies need to get a move on and try and destroy America and then work their way down the line, because right now Austria and Prussia are trying to hold on here and defeat these French armies. Holding nicely on this flank, though. These train troops are doing a good job. These are Leib infantry, so I think they're the light infantry. My terrible German is correct. I believe it's like life, so they're like guards, I think. Could be wrong, could be not, could be incorrect. And here we go. There goes the melee. In goes the charge against the Austrians. Some of these Baden troops can actually melee pretty well. So they're bear skins. They're trying to break through. I'm surprised we haven't seen the commitment of the heavies just yet, but there isn't really an easy gap for them. They're breaking through the Landwehr quite nicely. I think there's a Grenadiers that are setting up there. They are ready. There's a general really close here. Karl von Teschen. He needs to be careful. But yeah, the Austrians falling like a house of cards. Kind of do quite easily. Once their morale breaks a little bit, it just kind of happens. But Prussia is slowly turning the screw here on this force of French troops. There's still there's a lot of heavies over here, by the way. That's a big light cav as well. Austria kind of supporting against the northern Russian army here. Doesn't mean he can use his full force against this French army that is pushing against him, which is the Russia 1812, I believe. And he's getting beaten back at the moment, but he's got squares that are holding in certain areas. We haven't seen a decisive blow yet. There hasn't been. There's heavy cav coming forward, though, could be just that decisive blow. I'd send in the young guard. They probably could do okay in melee. Or at least just get some nice side shots. He's going to go for a charge, I think, through the gap. He's going to go for this infantry here. Carabineers go in. Bayonets twirling. Very nice. Good charge. Looks like they could route that pretty easily.
This building has fallen to the enemy.
The building's fallen to the enemy. I don't know what building that is. Oh, it's the Russia North putting troops into the building. As you can see, America here is still getting chased by the Brits and the Turks. Janissaries meleeing their way through American infantry there. I'm not a line I thought I'd ever find myself saying. Spanish cav provisional dragoons have kind of gone straight through the center here. And now they're trying to wrap up, and America is getting dealt with. That British cav having flanked around is also now looking like it can go for some opportunities. again, France, like Russia Center, taking the initiative, being aggressive. They actually charged one of the few squares Spain seems to have brought. Being aggressive. I don't know if initiative is the right word, but still, I'd say a bit of a foolhardy charge. They just need to hold on long enough because France right now is pounding its way through the Austrians. The heavy cav there routing Landwehr. Looks like we've got the moves going in. Kind of charging the back of their own men, but it might be enough to beat those cuirassiers. We'll see. And there you go, more Austrian Landwehr being routed. Prussia over here, though, is slowly getting his way through. He looks like he's meleeing his way in. And he's defeating the Bavarians over there. Very, very nice. And he's pushing back the French armies there. Support of squares and cavalry, he's done a good job there, but he is in a bit of a race for his life. Austria, his ally, his German comrade, is slowly bleeding out. French cav got the Napoleon dragoons, the Italian dragoons going in. And they've got that general there. That's Austria's general gone. That is one very, very much gone. And that is probably the death of Austria here, because a lot of his infantry is like just Landwehr. A lot of French here, though, that are just doing nothing. They are just stood around doing this, and they need to be finishing off the Austrians. Poor micro there from the French player. But at the same time, another general has died, and that is the American general who is dying. So at the same time, the Allies are taking out one of the coalition forces. The coalition are losing one of their own. So it's pretty neck and neck. It's kind of gone from a 4v4 to a 3v3. This Britain, though, is pretty slow and moving, which is my only concern. So the battle could be over before they even get to the next battle zone. We'll see. Prussia is still chasing up the French here. They are routing a lot. Kind of lucky that I feel like this Prussian army over here is not really dealt with the full French force. I mean, he's got infantry over here that's just kind of been defeated. And it never was really pursued. And Prussia almost kind of a bit ignored, it felt like. Kind of just brushed aside as they moved on to the Austrians. And it's kind of come to bite them in the ass, because now they haven't actually dealt with these Prussians properly, and they've kind of gone in and just got themselves killed on the elites. It seems to those Bavarians that have been sent in there, were not up to the task at all. Landwehr setting up here. I mean, they want to... I imagine these units are pretty spent. They don't want to just stand there too long, though, against the Landwehr. That's exactly what they want. They need to try and get around them quickly, just side charge and get a melee off. Gonna see some German grenadiers going there. I don't think these guys have seen action yet. Austrians with the grenadiers and their orange line. They are winning that melee, but they won't win the morale fight. More cav going in. For the French here. This Russian North being very aggressive with this lack of cavalry. Spain's gonna, you know, repay the favor. At least it looked like he was. Provisional dragoons going in. They should rout a couple of those units there. It gets a bit messy. The assault column, I don't think it's seen action, but I don't know at the same time. Kind of hard to tell. Building lost. So they lost that building. And the generals died. That's Prussia's general. Prussia getting a general over here. I think that's the Austria army losing his general. They are swallowing up French forces here. Prussia has had an excellent game, really has. Really well done there. Austria, I mean, sent most of his, it looks like his elites to go and help out 1812, the Austria campaign. And it's worked, they're through. And it looks like Russia North over here to help defeat what Spanish forces were in front of him. He's now going to deal with Spain and Britain. Britain relatively intact. I don't think he had a large army. Thing is, they're lacking things like cav. We do have one out here. Not really seen much in the way of artillery. I don't think by either side really here. Minimal artillery. Certainly the two high pointers brought very little, if any, I think. And now the Francis need to somehow rotate, so they're not going to get sandwiched. Because right now, if you look at the map, they're getting sandwiched. The French are the guys in red in the middle. And then you've got a big blue blob to the north and a big blue blob to the south. And they are going to just slowly squeeze the French closer and closer. Ruins being occupied, LCs, yep. Now in the hands of the Allies. And Spain and Prussia. I mean, they need to take this slowly to an extent, you know, steady. Don't want to overcommit because France can quite easily move much quicker than both of these can, especially since there's a lot of Landwehr in this Prussian army. They cannot move it like sort of that quickly. L2s. Same with the Ottoman troops over here. But France could quite easily go march in one direction, defeat one, then turn around and try and defeat the other, which is probably what they should try and do, rather than just accept the fate that is kind of happening to them right now. If I was France, I'd try and shift everything. Maybe leave a small force here around the house, try and force the Prussians to go into melee, which they don't want to do with them, things like the Landwehr. Then try and get troops over here, support Russia north, and then just smash into the Brits and the Spanish here and try and defeat them. The thing is, they haven't got enough cav left. Something's returning, including a heavy. We're going to see lights go in here. Chasseur Cheval, they're going to go in, they're going to go after the Ottoman lights. Try and take all of them out. No response there from the Ottomans at all. And, well, there you go. Get on volley. But I feel like they might have been slightly melee and they fired in there. General in danger. Not really sure why, but he is apparently. I think he's because he's running down drowning troops. Luca's doing just fine, he is. Yeah, it looks like France is quite happy just to sit here. He's going to just wait for the Prussians to come to him. When really, I think, like I said, he should go to Russia North. And I say it should be that way around rather than Russia North come to him. Russia North has the same issue. His infantry can't really move that quickly. A lot of his infantry. While this 1812 can easily move over here. So there you go. A good charge there from the Spanish. Round of that infantry. I mean, not a great trade. I bet that provisional dragoon costs a bit more. But made another little weakness in the line. But they got just enough infantry and enough assets right now that they can easily deal with the Russian North over here. There you go. Prussia arriving. Slamming into the side of the French there. Very nice. Well done, Prussia. And it'll just go down the line. And just like morale has that effect in NTW3, it just is like wildfire. As soon as one unit routes, they all start to rout. The assault column's still here. I feel like we haven't really seen too much action. It needs to get in there. I want to see it charge into this Turkish line. Probably not a wise idea just to charge head on. But if it does, it'd be great. Look at this though, this Prussian line infantry is swung round and is now over here supporting against the Russia North. This is insane. He's fought 3 different opponents, maybe 4 you could argue. No, he hasn't fought the US. Never fought the US, the Prussians. There's only 3 different enemies. The general trying to get closer and closer. Oh no, this isn't the general actually. This is the Italian dragoons. They're going strong. They might actually rout that British infantry unit. Well, not British. Turkish infantry unit. Russians firing on squares mercilessly there. That is brutal. That's got to be a war crime. And yeah, Prussia's kind of just ignored the actual superior French force there. Just gone for the weaker one. The right move as well. Prussia's played this game very, very well here today. And now he can properly sandwich between his forces alone, pretty much. What remains of 1812 here. The Young Guard, though they have glorious uniforms, they're not going to be able to stop the Prussian tide here. We've got the Brandenburg infantry there. These are the Life Guard infantry. They're blue mean great, and then Prussian blue as well. Looks he's got in a melee here. The Landwehr being sent in. they're absolutely gutting down these poor light infantry. I was going to say that the Young Guard prides themselves on being good shooters, and like, you know, some of the best shooters in the French army. They're getting absolutely annihilated there by the Prussians. They are in a 2v1 situation. There you go. Prussia is through. He's just done a really good job of just pinning with some units and then shooting with others. And then, you know, the building's been captured. This building's changed hands a lot. Prussia is finally going to be the owner of it. And what has been a very intense, very high-octane battle has ended very, very quickly, as to be expected from a high-octane game. That was really quick. For a 4v4, probably one of the quickest. I mean, that literally, yeah, less than 30 minutes. That's an insanely quick game. Actually, wow. I was not expecting that. But hopefully the end results are up on the screen for you to have a look at. This was sent in by G, who got well over 3k kills, if I remember. As with the Landwehr army as well. Insane. It probably has something to do with the title. Something like 3k kills for Landwehr, with Landwehr. Or something like that. Who knows? But yeah, well done to him. Well done to everyone else that played in this one as well. It was a really fun one to check out. G showing that you can do magic here with militia. Really, magic militia is another great name it would be for this replay. But yeah, hopefully you can have a good look at the end results, see who did best, who are you rooting for, and let's have a quick look at some of G's kills. Yeah, like 483 kills as line infantry. I don't know if they farmed too much, maybe a little bit. 407 kills from another one there. Uhlans 265, 253. The Brandenburg infantry. Landwehr Uhlans 214. Landwehr Uhlans getting 172 as well. But yeah, some really good kills there. Saxon Landwehr 99 kills. Yeah, they didn't do too bad. Did Blucher get any kills? Let's have a look. Oh, they even brought British foot artillery. Didn't even see that. I don't even think you got any use out of it. Who knows? But yeah, I mean, well, 16 kills. A minimal use. And then Blucher got 5 kills. Well done to him. Well done to him. But there you go, guys. That is today's NTW 3 battle. I wouldn't say it was pretty close for the French to start with. Seemed like they were breaking through, and they nearly looked like they were going to. Then G's Prussians just kind of swung around on that left flank. Did a very good job. Spain and Britain outpointed the Imperials over on the other flank, on the right flank for the coalition. It was, I feel like, a poorly balanced Imperial force. They tried to smack hard on their right, and the centre didn't quite work. The left was so weak. It was an outpointed going up against pretty much 2.5 armies. And then G did a very good job just breaking through. 2 really, really powerful armies. Did a very, very good job. And Austria, arguably going to wake us to the MVP. Sucking up a lot of punches. Not getting a lot of reward, not surviving to the end of the battle, but taking a lot of punches to allow Prussia and its allies to sort of succeed and mop up the remains of the French. A very good job there in that regard. But there you go, guys. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, do remember to leave a like, subscribe if you're new around here, and a comment show support. And I'll see you folks in the next one. Bye for now.